Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. 20 years ago, Los Angeles had over 1,000 homicides, and we've made dramatic progress in the ensuing 20 years of bringing that crime rate down. And for the 10th year in a row, we've continued to bring crime down and made Los Angeles the safest big city in America. And that's been thanks in large measure to the incredibly professional work of the Los Angeles Police Department. But it's also been due to activism throughout our city by communities who have said enough. We've had it with our communities being destroyed and racked by gangs and racked by random violence. And many of the people that we're going to be hearing from today in a moment are people who have been personally impacted by gun violence and people who initiated their activism because of that personal impact and have said enough is enough.
Good morning. My name is Ron Foster, and I'm here representing my family, my children. December of 1997, I had taken my son, 7 years old at the time, and Alec, who was 10 months, to the park to pick up his soccer trophy and to sign up for the winter basketball league. And some young men came to the park and possessed a .90 assault weapon and shot 75 rounds, 14 of which hit my vehicle, killing Evan and injuring Alec, sustained bullet-friendly wounds to his left eye. And thankfully he survived and is now just turned 16. I was utterly shocked to learn that this type of a weapon was available and that many rounds could be shot. And so I take every opportunity, and I thank you, Mr. Krekorian, for bringing this forward, because whatever we can do, it makes a difference.
Our constituents continue to have nagging fears about gun violence, despite the drop in crime. And those nagging fears are very reasonable, because they've seen in my neighborhood the North Hollywood shootout of 1997, in which the Los Angeles Police Department was outdone by two gun-toting criminals wearing body armor who were able to keep the entire department at bay because of the degree to which they were armed. They've seen the Jewish Community Center massacre.
My name is Joshua Stevenoff. In August of 1999, I was the survivor of a hate crime in the North Valley Jewish Community Center shooting. I was shot twice by the neo-Nazi Buford who came in with a Norinco Uzi knockoff and fired 70 rounds in less than a minute. He shot 3 kids under the age of 6, myself included, and shot a teenager and the receptionist. And it was very clear that if he didn't have a high-capacity magazine, he would not have been able to rattle off so many shots in such a short time. I was the same age as the kids at Sandy Hook, and I was one of the lucky ones who survived. And so I'm here to share my story and hope that we can do something so that other kids at the same age don't have to go through what I went through.
And they've seen an ensuing stream of similar incidents, the 1999 Columbine shooting, the Stockton schoolyard shooting, and so many other similar crimes that have taken place since. And what is common among those incidents is the degree to which a person with evil motivation has been able to make a crime significantly worse because of the high degree of firepower that they had at their disposal. The ability to spray many bullets across many victims in a very short amount of time. So today's measure is really just a common sense step towards first of all, giving our police department a fair opportunity to be able to respond to these sorts of crimes, but also making sure that when crime happens, when violence happens, we minimize the ramifications of it. We minimize the number of victims that will fall to that crime by restricting the number of rounds that can be fired off in a short amount of time by making these high-capacity magazines that are so readily available still in Los Angeles, banning those from our city limits.
To prevent these homicides from occurring, it's something that we need to look at and move forward on. So I thank you, and I'm proud to second this motion with you, Mr. Krekorian. And God help us if we have another homicide in the city of Los Angeles involving these high-powered weapons.
The state of California has already prohibited manufacturing, prohibited importation, prohibited sale of high-capacity magazines. And yet the possession of those very magazines, the possession of those magazines that the state of California has declared to be a nuisance, is still perfectly permissible, provided that they weren't imported or sold in violation of the state law. I think it's time that we take a step to address that problem by banning the possession of high-capacity magazines here in the city of Los Angeles. It's important that we be respectful of people's reasonable and understandable desire to be safe in their home and in their business by protecting themselves and their families. But at the same time, we have to take those common sense steps to protect the children on our playgrounds. We have to take common sense steps that we can to protect our neighbors in our communities and our law enforcement officers on the street from the kind of mass mayhem that these high-capacity magazines make possible and facilitate. That's what we're here for today. And so I'm very pleased to be able to bring this motion before you and respectfully ask for your support.